This is the Spider Tanks Esports Show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spider Tanks Esports Show. My name's Evenwave, and I'm here with DnkLikeTheSuits also. And we've got a really cool episode today. We're going to be talking with metaTated about Spider Tanks and discussing builds and all kinds of different stuff. But let's go ahead and get the show started. What's going on, D?
Everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too.
Like, Mayhem is almost behind us. I think we have that tournament in a couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah.
But Mayhem took a lot out of me. Yeah. Put a lot of energy into it. Currently I'm going to GA, Grapnelers Anonymous, because I am addicted to the grapnel.
Grapnelers Anonymous. I think I need to be in
fun.
Speed Boost Anonymous. I'm always accidentally hitting Speed Boost when I have
speed,
teleport
man.
on or something, and then I just teleport in front of somebody and they instantly kill me. I've been doing that one a lot recently.
Yeah, I've been trying to rewire my brain to get off of cannon turrets, but it's pretty difficult. Used a lot of turrets during Mayhem.
Yep, all kinds of different strategies.
But yeah, what about you? How's everything going with you? What's been going on inside your Spider Tank's mind?
One of the things I've been wondering about recently is the lore of Spider Tanks. I've been kind of, ever since it was brought up, like in the AMA and stuff, it's made me wonder, you know, because apparently there might be like an overarching story behind Spider Tanks, and I've been like looking at the maps differently, you know, like trying to figure out, you know, what could be connected. I mean, like I've noticed like a couple maps, like let's see, like Arctic Base and Safe Haven, they have submarines, and it seems to be kind of like a naval theme, like in some of the maps. Mm-hmm. And then you have, you know, like Frozen Research. It has that crashed UFO in the hole over on the left-hand side. Like, what's that all about? And then you've got, Dragon Cave, which is like medieval time. And you've got Jungle Temple, which is, you know, like, it seems like to be some kind of like either Mayan or Cambodian temple, you know, like some kind of jungle temple from back in the day. And then you've got Death Canyon, which is, you know, basically set back kind of in the 1800s Wild West kind of thing. So you have some things that are set back in time, it seems like you also got the UFO, you know, which could be the future. Like maybe there's some time travel involved or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you about that. Like if you think there was any like metaverse, time travel, like different dimensions, things going on.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what all this is going to be. I mean, I guess we still have a lot to see, you know, with planets and everything coming.
Yeah, so and now that I think about it, it's like it's different planets too. But they did say that eventually, when the game is like further on, that on each planet it won't just be one specific kind of map. Like multiple maps will be on each planet. So, but at the start anyways, like the first time we see like the planets implemented, it's going to be one type of map per planet. But so I guess with that current theme, it's going to be really interesting to see how they tie all the planets to one another and like kind of what kind of universe or solar system they end up creating with it.
Yeah, it seems like there's all kinds of stuff still yet to come with that part of Spider Tanks. It seems like there's going to be like a entire another, you know, aspect of the game that we hadn't even anticipated yet, which I'm super excited to learn what it is eventually. But yeah, I know we were talking about esports earlier before this. That's another thing I'm super excited about.
Yeah, I think everyone's like really excited for esports. Like I've been talking to a couple of players throughout the international community, and the one thing that stands out that I vaguely remember from just about everyone I've spoken to is everyone's really anticipating esports, whether it's watching it, whether it's participating. I could tell you right now, Evenwave, I'm looking to be a player and or a coach on some team somewhere. So if yourself or anyone listening to this podcast is looking for those things, let me know. You know where to find me.
Coach D. Yeah. Another thing I'm super excited about is just having like a ranking system or like a leaderboard or something that you can really grind for and kind of gauge your performance better in the game. I think that'll be a whole lot of fun having that element in there too.
Yeah, and I really hope that we get to see something like weekly challenges that kind of something like we saw during Mayhem, maybe not to that extreme, but kind of different challenges where if you complete these things or you collect a total of 1,000 chickens in a week, then you get X amount of silk, or like something like that.
Cool.
Just to just to have like extra grinding benchmarks to hit, because as everyone knows, grinding can be boring. And in the early builds, before we potentially get the ranking system you were talking about, whether it be like a ranked, like a formal bronze, silver, gold, plat, all of that, grandmaster, master ranking system, it might be something good for the community to participate and kind of compete against one another like we are this month of May in Mayhem, But I'm totally with you on the desire, like the want for a leaderboard, because I strongly desire to be rank 1. Like, it doesn't matter for how long. I just want to say I've been rank 1. I just want to hold that title. And so I know there's lots of other people who would like to hold that title as well.
I just want to hold it for like 5 seconds.
That's all. Just for just a screenshot.
Exactly, long enough to get the screenshot, and then I'll have it for the rest of my life.
It's all good. Yeah. After that, it doesn't matter.
One of the other things I'm super excited about is the tournament coming up for week 4 of May Mayhem. Like it sounds like we're gonna have like an actual bracketed tournament, and that's gonna be a huge tournament, probably hundreds, if not thousands, of teams, and I can't wait for it. Like that's gonna be. I've been waiting for something like this for a while, but that might be like our first glimpse at what the kind of tournament esports scene might be. Outside of the guild hosted tournaments, but something like put on by Gala.
Yeah, and all we really have to compare it to will be the Node Owner tournament. Mm-hmm. And during that tournament, a lot of people were upset that they couldn't play because they weren't Node Owners. But now it'll be opened up to the whole community, and it'll be no excuses. Get your team, pull out your best tanks, your best plays, and we'll meet on the battlefield.
Okay, so for that tournament, like what kind of build are you going to choose going into it? I can tell you what I'm going to choose. I'd probably run like Titan Beat Blaster. That's what I would go with. I credit Smooth Harry for showing me how powerful that build can actually be. I mean, level 30 Beat Blaster is just insane right now. The higher levels are crazy. And it has that knockback effect, which is really good for stopping rushing attacks. I'd put it on top of a Titan because that's going to give you the fastest energy regen in the game. And with all that extra energy for my 2 special abilities, first one I'm going to run something to give me mobility. With Titan, I usually pick teleport over speed boost, but one of those 2, probably teleport. For the second ability, I'm probably going to choose like grapnel or cannon turret, probably grapnel.
We want the grapnel. That's what we want. If you're on my team, just go ahead and grab that grapnel.
Yeah. Grapnel's really strong right now. What about you? What kind of build are you choosing?
I think I'll start off with the healer, and I'll probably run repair artillery top. I'll pair it up with a nice hurricane body. Is heavy enough to kind of have some good health bar ticks on it. And it also has great energy, which is, one of the number one things you look for when choosing heavier bodies. But yeah, and I guess for abilities, I will run grapnel hook to deal with the teleport shotgun, flamethrowers, like the close range threats, especially since repair artillery is always around teammates. And my second one, I will use repair drone since after the change, repair artillery can't heal itself. So I'm going to need some help.
All right. Well, it sounds like it'll be a pretty strong team. Titan Beat Blaster, Hurricane Heal. Of course, we're going to need a third. So why don't we ask metaTated?
Sounds like a good third.
Meditated off the medication. The stinger got me feeling hesitated. Yeah.
So metaTated, thanks for joining us on the show, man.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, if D and I are putting together a team, and if I'm Titan Beat Blaster or Titan Laser, and D is Hurricane Heal, what third tank will you be running?
If D was on the heel and you're on like a beat blaster, I'd probably go with like a artillery, just so I could shoot over structures and stuff in case they start clumping up. In case they have a heal, we have to do like a good amount of damage on them. So I'd probably bring a rocket artillery with like a scout,
Ooh, yeah.
so I'm fast enough to run them down, and then probably with speed boost. And I usually would run a like a heal drone, but we have a healer, so I'd probably go with like maybe like a vortex or something like that, so I could vortex him and then hit him with the artillery.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds super strong. It would even be like clean to see you on something like a rail gun or like a crossbow. You know, like something with like super long range that can just like one shot erase people.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun trying out the railgun when it was free during Mayhem.
Yeah.
Dude, Railgun's so strong. I mean, having one on a team where, like, as soon as somebody on the other team steps up and just peeks their head around the corner, you know, they're just taken down to like 10% health. Like, that adds a lot to a team because then that person's easy to take out. Then it's a 3v2, and I don't know, it just helps kill the other team, like, really quickly, having a railgun on there.
Yeah. And most importantly, railgun is like top 3 funnest guns in the game. Like, it's so satisfying to just get like a super clean clip on the railgun, like a 1v3 sticky situation. Like, you hit 2 shots, toss out a cannon turret, hit another shot. Like,
Yeah. But what I was saying is you always need someone on the team that's going to do that fat amount of damage where you hit them like one time and they're one shot, so then like the guy with the beat blaster can go and like clean up the kill real easy with the fast fire rate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely think every team needs a DPS. And like in this current meta, you need like a DPS and you need some kind of sustain tank, usually repair artillery. And then like the third tank, it can either be like a flank stealthy, like invisible shotgun type build, or it can be more of a bruiser, like higher tank, decent mobility, but still put out medium like supplementary damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I chose Titan Beat Blaster, but I mean, I would be really tempted to also take Titan Laser. I mean, Laser is just one of the strongest weapons out there right now, along with Beat Blaster. In my opinion, the 3 strongest weapons right now are Brambler, Laser, and Beat Blaster when they're leveled up to level 30. Like, at level 30, those 3 are just insane. And I really like Laser because you can lay a lot of stuff downrange, and if you can hit them with those last 2 shots, it does almost as much damage as a railgun if you hit them with all 4 shots.
Yeah.
Having a Titan with a healer is really good because the Titan already has like an incredible amount of like health. So with a healer, it's like almost impossible to kill.
I know.
Yeah, I remember when Titan first came out and Evenwave grabbed one. Like, he hit me up. He was like, "Man, like with the shield, it's like 15k health," and I was just blown away. I was like, "What? Like, that's insane! Like, how are you gonna erase? Like, that's such a fat tank. Like, having a Titan on laser, having a super like high health DPS. Like, I think that's one of the real unique things about this game. Like, usually in other games, DPS characters are squishy, or like, you know, that you can kill them really easily. But having that Titan on the DPS is a game changer, because now that third tank can come in something like more utility, like Snowball or like Brambler, or, you know, just something that can provide something else to the team.
Yeah, I think if a healer is healing up a big body like a Titan, it makes so much more of a difference than if, you know, a healer is healing up a flea and a scout or something, because it's just like, think about the off time, like where nobody's really shooting at you and you like have a second to get healed up. If a Titan's low, like, you can add so much armor to the team, like in the downtime. If a flea is low, it's like you hit them 2 shots and they're already back full health, and they go rush in and then they're erased. Like, it's just way more finicky trying to heal low armor tanks with the healer. I think healer and Titan is like a super strong combo and really hard to bust through.
Bringing the Titan too is like it's also like another form of cover. So if I have like an artillery, say I'm playing artillery and I have a Titan with the healer, I'll let the Titan stand in front of me and have him take all the shots.
Yeah.
And my light body never really gets hit, and I could keep shooting my artillery and like doing damage on them without getting hit.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like that's like the number one strat like with the healer. Like if you're main pocket healing that heavy artillery, you just want to duck behind it and keep him healthy because as long as he's healthy, you're good because that's your shield. And
Exactly.
and the most important thing about spider tanks that people oftentimes overlook is positioning. Like as a healer, you can't help but to notice positioning because everyone's always gunning for you. You have to stay out of all the lines of sight and make sure that you keep your teammates in your line of sight. So like just I guess learning like playing healer, that was the number one thing I learned. Is just being aware of your position and your tank's like actual physical body and just be well positioned to make the proper plays.
And then the only thing you have to worry about doing that, standing behind like a Titan, is if they have a sniper or like a crossbow, anything that could collide you. You just got to be careful because it will do the same amount of damage to both you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that crossbow collide is lethal.
Mm-hmm.
And which is why crossbow is probably a good option to bring to that team as well.
Yeah, crossbow is going to be a problem.
Yeah, crossbow
Yeah.
is a problem. Like it's serious. Like that.
It's not talked about, but if you could pick up a crossbow, like
I think it's the reload speed. Like I think that's the
Yeah.
part of it that really makes it stand out. Like or just the fire rate on it. I guess like it's
Right. I mean, you know how you get in those situations where everybody's staying at max range. You know, everyone's staying like just outside of the range of the opposing team, and like, but crossbow can still get in there and have that poke damage and get people weak. And if crossbow hits enough shots at a distance, then it's like, oh, okay, now's the time. One of them's weak. Go in there, take them out, capitalize on that. It can really add options to a team. Like it helps to break those stalemates. But it's definitely one of those weapons that it's highly rewarding when you hit your shots, and it's super punishing whenever you miss your shots. So you definitely have to be on top of your game when you're playing it.
yeah, and because that fire rate is so fast, like it's a primarily long range weapon that does amazing damage long range. But if you manage to get in close with it, I think I would take a crossbow over something like a sniper or even a railgun in certain situations, just because of that fast fire rate, and you can just keep getting shots off close range. So it's pretty lethal at all ranges, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It's really good short range.
Yeah.
honestly, long range weapons and spider tanks are probably better in my opinion. But like the short range weapons, if you can master them, those are the ones that are like lethal.
Mhm.
But like if you can master like a rail gun or a crossbow or something like that, you could essentially just never get in anybody's range and not take any damage while you're doing like a lot of damage.
Yeah, and with that short range, personally, I've been having a little trouble trying to make short range builds and weapons work. Just because when you're playing at like a super high level, teams don't allow short range people to even
any
get close.
close.
Yeah,
Nope.
so like they can pin you out, keep you away, and you're just like sitting on the outskirts of everyone's range, looking for an opening that probably would never come, especially if they have a healer.
Yeah, and then you're just kind of wasting time floating. You're not
Yep.
helping your team out.
Yeah, wasted space. Like, and I've been trying to make the flamethrower work, but I guess the way to really make it work is to have two aggressive teammates that are gonna push,
Yeah.
and then also you run teleport, and so they push in, create chaos, and you capitalize on that chaos, swoop in, and get a few easy kills.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that short range weapons are kind of dead right now?
Oh,
I just don't think they're the meta right now. I think long range weapons, just like if you're a long range weapon versus a short range weapon, you could always run away and like be able to like do damage against him. But a short range weapon, you have to like find a way to get close enough to even do damage.
yeah, and also like we were just running scrims with Dehe right before we recorded this, and like he was a problem on that shotgun. Like
That
so
is true.
I don't think they're dead. I think that you just have to play them differently. Like you can't rush in at all times. You have to play it really situationally and like understand. You can't rush in and just like go blind fury and try to just get kills. You have to wait for people to be low, teleport over walls, speed boost in at certain times. and make plays that way. But I know a few good like shotgun players who, when they get close, it's over with. And especially with like the rock paper scissors nature of the game, some things like rocket artillery and bramble, you definitely want to have something that can get in close range and handle business in the paint for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Shotgun and flamethrower, you have to be really discriminatory with what fights you take and what you, because you can easily close range get yourself in a situation where you're overpowered, and you have to like really like sit back, let your energy build up, just kind of like hide behind a wall for a second, and wait until you see an opportunity that presents itself, because a lot of people just go rushing in with shotgun and flamethrower, and then they just there's too much damage coming from the other team, and then they're dead before they can do anything, before they can even get close. You have to really like wait for the opportune time. And one of the things that I've found that is really effective right now is invisibility. Like sometimes you're just like stressed out, fighting other people and not paying attention behind you, and then all of a sudden invisible shotgun comes in and just wipes you out, like, and you didn't even see it coming. Like it really does work, and I think people should try invisibility more.
Yeah, invisibility has gotten way better since the early days. Like I remember, like when it first came out, or when I first started using it, I was like, man, or first started seeing it in games, I was like, man, it's so easy to see. Like they really think like they're fooling somebody, but now like people like, if it's an invisible person right there, I'm like, wait, where? And now I'm dead. So I'm like, oh, okay, right there. Like,
the buff to the invisible was really good. It's it's valid now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's very few abilities that kind of aren't like useful. Like even like one of the least used abilities, like Repulsor Zone. I was messing around with it on chicken matches, and it was super fun. Like just tossing it on barrels and people getting pushed out, and you can kind of use it like a vortex grip in a way, because they kind of get pinned on like the outside of the circle. So if you just aim for the outside instead of the center, you can get that guaranteed shot every time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The Repulsor Zone, that is a slept-on utility right there. I don't see anybody ever use it. It's actually really good, and it's only 5 energy. You can even run it on like kind of lighter bodies, and be able to use it fairly often. But I really like Repulsor Zone. I think people should give it a chance. Some of the ways that it's really useful is denying access to certain areas. Like say you're fighting a team who's hiding behind an obstacle and you can't quite get an angle on them, throw a repulsor zone on the other side of that obstacle, and it'll just push them all out into the open, and then you can hit them, and it'll probably catch them off guard. I don't see that in the gameplay a whole lot.
Yeah. What's like one ability you guys won't like play because it's just not good at all?
Oh, smoke grenade.
Smoke grenade?
Yeah.
That's the one I was gonna say. Like,
yeah,
I was literally gonna say.
I was talking to Sinister a couple of days ago, and he was talking about the idea to give smoke grenade kind of like a healing reduction. Like if you're inside the smoke grenade, then you take reduced healing, and it's kind of like a grievous wounds, like cauterized situation to kind of deal with like teams that kind of clump up and just play the heal meta.
That would be really cool.
I love that idea. Like you can use it offensively and defensively.
Go
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say where it like heals your team, but does like reduces heal from the other team. But I would say that's just too much heals in the game.
If it heals your team, that's too much. I think it should just reduce. Like anybody in it is gonna take reduced healing. Like, from the other
you're
team.
saying like whether it's on your team or their team?
No, so it'll be from the enemy team, because I don't think that friendly fire like things exist in the game. Like when you toss a grenade, it wouldn't like hit everyone on your team. So I think it would have to be like for the enemy team only, and it'd be like a red haze, I guess, when you're in it to kind of indicate that it's negative. And I guess if it's a positive teammate, then it could be like green when you're in it. So to avoid confusion,
Here's the way I was thinking of it is like, you can still use it on your team as a visual distraction, hide in it or whatever. I don't think that part of it is all that effective, but you could also use it. Say you have a team who's tightly grouped together, and they've got a healer. They're staying full health. You throw a smoke grenade in there, and inside that like they cannot accept healing done from the healer. So it like gives you a chance to like push in, and it like create
Yeah.
some confusion at the same time.
Yeah, I think it'd be
while
too.
they're in
I
that
think it'd be
smoke.
too OP. I think it'd be too OP if you like just couldn't accept healing at all.
Or maybe
you know,
it's
so I
reduced
feel like
or
it should be
something,
like a
you know?
yeah, just like a 20% like healing reduction.
That
you
would
know,
be
something
cool.
like that.
Like you just lit a guy up, he's weak, so you throw the smoke so the healer can't heal him, and then
Okay,
you could
yeah.
go push up and kill him.
Yeah, I would
That
use
would be sick.
I would use smoke grenade if you could use it for like 2 different things like that. It would give it just a
Yeah.
little bit more utility, and I'd probably use it then.
Do you guys have any abilities that you think that should be nerfed? Like that are just too strong right now?
I think they got a lot of the nerfing of abilities out of the way. Like teleport feels a little different. The shield change, getting rid of health pack. Like I think they kind of put abilities in a good place. Like even the strong ones don't feel too strong. Like vortex grip, that 6 energy kind of feels like appropriate. The grapnel, like it doesn't feel too strong. You know, like half the time if you don't use grapnel properly, you'll pull the enemy into killing you or your teammates. You know, so like
Yeah.
it's still a really good balance, I think, in all the abilities. I think the only problem is that some abilities just aren't either useful or the player base hasn't figured out how to incorporate them in the meta yet. For example, the wall. Like I know you guys were playing with it early on. Like, could you inform the community on your time spent with the wall?
I know Gnomes is a great wall player. She throws out great walls, and it's very useful. Like in chicken matches, we'll have like 4 or 5 chickens on the barrel, and usually people like pressure the barrel, so you have to like run away and not be able to deposit right then. But she'll throw a wall up, and we'll just stick our chickens, and then that's just like it makes it way easier on the team.
It's so versatile.
Yeah, there's another way you
that-
can
that
use
was
it on
just-
chickens too. Say that you can use it for denying access to the barrel, like, and even if somebody is at the barrel, say they're at the barrel with like 6 chickens, and you got to get them off of there, you can throw a wall in between them and the barrel, and it'll push them off the barrel, and then they can't get to, or at
Yeah,
least slows them down.
I agree.
No one uses walls, but I think it's a very useful freaking ability.
Yeah, I think once the player base and the community like really figures it out, I think walls are going to be like super meta. Like even like my favorite usage of them are for sieging. I like to use everything to siege. Like, but pretty much if you're like, let's say you're trying to siege a bridge on the bot side, and there's 3 members on both sides fighting for that position. All you have to do is place a wall max range. As long as it gets like over 50% of the bridge, now you guys can safely walk up to the bridge, maybe even toss some turrets behind the wall to like shoot through it and give you some additional cover. And the wall lasts for so long. Like that's the thing for me. Like it might get nerfed actually. Like after people realize what it can do, because it's just so many different things. Like I was gonna just wait it out one time, and I just sat at the wall like waiting to get by, and I felt like I was at like a train passing. Like it was just so long. I'm like, man, like is this wall gonna go away ever? Like what's going on?
How do you guys feel about the shield right now? The shield
drone, like the
the
standard
shield
one?
drone. Yeah, how do you guys feel about the shield drone?
Man,
Like-
that's one of those that like I feel like I'm not very good with it, but other people always get me with it. Like every time I play
Yeah.
Typhoon, like I swear that's the thing that always like gets him away. You know, like what I'll get him down to a sliver, and then he'll pop a shield, and then he'll wind up killing me after that. Like, you know, people get me with it, but I guess I just need to practice with it.
I think shield is in a good place. I think it was in a great place. It was definitely like a shield meta because everyone needed to use it to deal with grenades. So now that grenades kind of got that hitbox readjustment, and you don't need to be protected against it, they dropped that rework on the shield at the same time, and I think it's pretty decent. Like now you can't shoot while using it, but it still and they reduced the time, I think, a little bit. It used to be up a little bit longer, but like I said earlier, I like to use a lot of different things to siege, and shields are definitely a great sieging tool. Like in that same bridge scenario, in that 3v3 scenario, you can just pop a shield and walk across the bridge.
Yeah.
And now once you're across, now you can start shooting. And if you have something like a beat blaster or a shotgun or anything, a cannon, like something where once you get in range, it's over for the enemy team. You're in range now, you know. And like you just mentioned, people popping them at the last second when they're about to die. The most important thing that shield does is allows you to get back to your teammate in tough scenarios. If you're about to die, pop a shield, run away. Yeah, you can't shoot, but you can reload, I think. I'm not too sure. but I
Yeah,
think you can
you
reload. Yeah, and that's awesome. So you get a full clip out, shield real quick, use that reload, protection, reposition to secure the kill. Like it's all kinds of different usages for shield, and I
Mhm.
think we're going to be seeing it a lot in the future, as we've seen it a lot in the past.
Yeah, you see it a lot in high level play, like in tournaments and stuff. I was watching, you know how Vortex Airstrike is really popular in like the high level gameplay in tournaments. Well, I was watching. I won't name the team, but you know they just throw a shield every time, and it blocks the Vortex Airstrike, and it's you know.
Dang, that is a good strat. The other
Yeah.
strat for Vortex Airstrike is teleporting out.
Yeah.
Those are like the two strats for defending from the Vortex Airstrike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the old school strat is just using a heavy body. Heavier bodies don't get pulled in at the same rate as lighter bodies. So if you get caught on the outskirts, and somebody's using rockets and they're dumping rockets into the middle, maybe you can prolong getting to the center and save yourself a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So moving away from spider tanks for a second, metaTated, I have to ask you, you got any more music coming?
I come on the show one time and you guys want the leaks or what?
Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah, I am working on another song. I'm working on a Mafia song for the guild. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty sick.
okay. And you know we got to get a little leaky. You know, like we don't apply too much pressure. You know, just an adequate amount of pressure. You know,
I feel it.
it's what the people want. You know. Can you hum a sample of the song right now for the people?
Yeah, that was a really fun song that we made. I don't know how we even came up with the idea, but we were like, why don't we just make a Spider Tank song? My friends are like really talented, like making songs, and we've been doing it since like high school, just making them for fun and stuff. So I was like, this game's pretty cool. The community's dope. So let's try to make a cool little song.
Dude,
That's what's up.
you guys got
Yeah,
bars.
Appreciate it.
It's always dope when you can align two passions like that, you know, and come together and make something creative and amazing.
Yeah, I think it's dope because it's like with YouTube, you get those copyright strikes, and if we just make our own music and then do like montages with the Spider Tanks, it's cool.
Yeah, well, your YouTube channel has really been popping off here lately too. If anybody listening has not checked out metaTated's YouTube channel, you should go there and check it out because he makes amazing videos, and you'll find all kinds of good information there. He gives tips videos. You can watch his gameplay and stuff like that. But hey, metaTated, it's been awesome talking with you, man. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for inviting me on.
Hey, it's always good talking to you, man.
Yeah, it's fun talking about the strats with you guys and stuff because you guys really dive deep and stuff. Like the people should really appreciate what you guys do, you know?
I appreciate that, man.
For sure,
Yeah, you
man.
guys do a great job.
For sure, you appreciate it, man. Like we do it for the community.
My favorite times when I'm isolated. I'm so high in the sky. I know that I'm new, but a vet though. I'm a dog, you can see me at Petco. Hey, what I said though.
All right, well, thanks once again to metaTated for coming on the show and talking to us. It was great to get to talk to him and see his perspective of spider tanks a little bit. D, you got anything else?
Man, I don't know. That interview with metaTated covered a lot. I'm really just curious to see who we're gonna have next week on the show. You know, who do you think? We have any spoilers we wanna give the people or not? We wanna let them wait.
I know we've got some good guests lined up for this show. That's all I want to say at the moment. But yes, stay tuned for those because we've got some really good things that we're going to cover on this show. But yeah, I'm super excited for the things that are to come in this game. I'm pumped for this tournament that's coming up. We got Gala vs. Malta coming up. Like, there's a lot of really exciting things in the near future. But yeah, I guess that's a wrap.
I guess that's it. You know, you trying to run some tanks?
Yeah, I'll invite you. Let's do it.
Nice.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Peace out.